Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Adventure Dolphin's DofE podcasts. This is episode 3, and I am Dominic. Just to let you know, guys, you can tag us on social media and keep us in the picture of what you are up to doing your DofE, but also just to the right of me, left of me, this side, is the live chat. If you want to have anything, ask any questions, put it in there, and we will try and answer them. Just remember that there's a little bit of a delay, so we'll try and get to you straight off. But today I am back with my old friend. He's back again. It is Tom. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm good. I'm a bit confused at why I've been invited back. So, yeah.
It's just, you know what I mean? We trusted you doing a good job, man. That's exactly what it is. Hi, James.
Yeah.
How are you doing, mate? You keeping well? So, let me just get rid of those because you don't need to know who I am anymore. So, today on this episode we're going to be talking about project work, I believe. Isn't that right? Project and aims.
Yeah, so this week we're going to be talking about projects and aims for the expeditions, as this is something that really gets the leader's goat when we're sitting there and watching the projects and we think, oh, we've seen this last year. So, yeah, trying to encourage you to have a look, think outside the box and do something a bit more interesting for our sake, if not yours.
Yep, originality is key. It's more of a discussion today. There's no boring presentation, no death by PowerPoint. Yay! One of the things before we go into it is just a couple of they're not announcements. I'm great, brilliant. It's good to hear that you're good, James. And it's good to see you again, man. But this week, if you haven't been paying attention, there has been some developments within the DofE, and they're talking DofE as an organisation as a whole, discussing where to go forwards and how we can adapt. Adventure Dolphin as a whole is going how we can adapt and go forwards. But currently, as it stands, we're still here, and that's here for the foreseeable future. ATJ11, hello. I have no idea who you are, but it's good that you could join us as well. How are you? You right? So, for the time being, we're still on this kind of home learning and these chats and the emails for the foreseeable future. Oh, hi, Andrew. Of course, yeah. And how did I not see that was Andrew?
How did you not guess that? Come on.
You keeping well, Andrew? But so that's where we're at with the developments through what's going on in the Adventure Dolphin. The Adventure Dolphin, we still remain shut. There's no paddling. There's no climbing. Nothing for the time being. That's being reviewed at the start of next month of where to go forward. But the first thing we want to say first of all with it is everyone's safety comes first, especially in these times. So poor me and Tom will probably be one of the first people from the DofE team back on the centre, risking it, wearing masks and standing 2 meters with rulers, just making sure.
Yep.
Oh, you can make us some of those fancy masks, Tom.
Yeah. We'll have to get some of them, get them personalised, get us looking good.
I like it. So that's how that goes. With if news coming through the DofE itself, we're gonna, as leaders, have to have a read through it. It's changing every week, so that's why we haven't been able to send an email out. But hopefully, there should be an email coming out to parents and participants soon about that. So that was basically the annoying news part that we had to go get over and done with. So basically, aims and project work. So if you haven't had a chance yet to look at the 20 conditions, there are 20 conditions that we have to do our expeditions by. Isn't that right, Tom?
Yeah, and so these conditions they basically say what makes a successful expedition and what doesn't. So if you don't meet all 20 of them, unfortunately, you will not pass or will refer your expedition. So yeah, you really want to make sure that you're clued up on what they are and meet them.
Yeah, and one of those is you have to have an aim, or what's known as project work, most commonly, which gets referred to. So today's basically a little discussion about project work. I can nearly tell you, every year I've been involved with DofE, and that's since 14. Hi, Giles. Good that you could join us, man. It's going to be a lot of this. How you doing, Giles? You all right? You see how this is going to go back and forward, but yeah,
a little bit of a delay.
But with it, I must admit, with project work, every year since being 15, it has been a PowerPoint of here's some pictures.
Yeah.
And a PowerPoint of here's some pictures. And a PowerPoint of here's some pictures. We like creativity here, don't we, Tom?
Yeah, it's always nice to see when a group goes a little bit extra. It doesn't have to be too much, but just maybe even making a video of what you've done and what you've learned is a bit more interesting to us, because if you imagine we sit through these every year, and there's often 6 or 7 groups. This year's a few less, but still quite a number of groups. And for people that there's only once, then it can be quite fun to see see 3 where's Wally's and that sort of thing. But when you're in your what must I be in 6th year, and you've done even more, Dom. Not to put you making you feel old or
Trying to
anything,
say I'm
but
as old as
you've done
Kevin.
a lot more of these expedition project days where you guys present them. So it is really good to see when a group has something new and interesting and something that you can see that they're clearly interested in.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there.
Yeah.
So one of the things we're going to ask is if you could think about what could be a project and a name, and drop it in the comments box, and we'll have a see what you guys are thinking of doing. It'd be great to see how your guys are going to think of what you can do for your trip. But Tom, I'm reading your notes because I'm not going to lie, I've been extremely busy, and you've thankfully written some notes. Do you want to take over about the project planning section for me?
With the project planning, as I've already said, us as leaders, we really want you to try and think outside the box. So each year, as I've already mentioned, we get very similar projects, such as the Where's Wally that I've already stated, which can get a little bit boring for us, but also it doesn't really make you guys feel too inspired about what you're doing as a group on your expedition. So really just something that you're interested in yourself. So if you are interested in stuff like historical landmarks and that sort of stuff, then feel free to do it on historical landmarks. But if you're more of someone that likes something like cinematography or photography, then take a camera with you, take your phone with you, take photos, make videos, put them together and show us what you've been doing by doing that, rather than just taking pictures of what you're doing. But with that, on your expedition, you're expected to do a certain amount of activity each day, and this activity is made up of both project, rest, and mainly walking or paddling if you are doing that. So the bigger your project is and the more time that you can spend doing that, which is normally a bit more fun than just walking with your bag on your back, the more time you can do that and the less distance you actually have to walk in total. Because if we see that you've only taken a few photos as your project and you've said, oh, we've done 2-3 hours of project work, are we going to believe you? It's less to us about what you're doing. It's if you are going to do a big project, we can say, well, yeah, we can expect you to walk a bit less far and do your project as part of that.
Yeah, no, you've bang on there. Blimey.
Yeah.
Do you want to be a DofE leader?
Yeah, I'm trying. And then my main tip is have an idea of what you want to do before you go. So on my Gold, we were doing a sort of spoof survival guide on DofE. So we took a lot of unnecessary items and made points on why you'd need them. So you can do that sort of thing. You can have fun with it. So you can do like that, and you can make videos where you can be a bit silly, have a bit of fun, which we like to see as leaders, and I think you can agree with that, Dom.
Yeah. About video sections, we've had many different types of videos. Where we say videos, put some thought into it, not just here's me walking down a path. One of the best projects I ever saw, this was a Gold group. They were 2 years before me. This was used, one of the reasons why I went to Switzerland to do my assessment for my Gold walking. They did a James Bond feature-length movie with special effects, and I was in the centre at Newbury at the time. So I don't know if any of you guys know the Newbury area. There was a local school. Can't remember what it was called. I remember the road. The road was called Love Lane. What a bad place to put a school, but hey ho. And they blew the school up. They were in the Swiss Alps. They had fake AK-47s going around. I wouldn't advise you guys to do that, so that's not me endorsing that, because it's quite dangerous, and if someone thought that wasn't fake, you're in trouble. So, but it was one of the best things I've seen. Another one on the video was the year I went up. A guy did a documentary. It was called Teens and Alps. And no joke of a lie, he now works he's got his own production company, and he works for BBC from time to time. But no joke of a lie, he had this massive camera, the proper video camera you get professional. He carried that in a rucksack in front of his backpack. It was his camera, the batteries, the microphone, plus his gear, and about 2 bottles of dry shampoo.
Yeah,
that was his main thing he needed. He went out with dry shampoo, and it was better than another guy who went out with about 2 litres worth of toothpaste. He used about 1 litre of it within 4 days. But that was what he did, and that opened the door to him, because after that he then did another project, and with those 2 projects he started building his company even further and started going into that line, and now he's working in doing films for festivals and BBC. It's insane what you can do on that. And I did a comic book for my gold, Yeah.
Well, you don't have to do anything massive. So if you're not someone that is completely tech savvy and can do lots of different editing and taking of videos, then it doesn't have to be anything massive. Like if you want to have a go at learning video editing software, it is a great opportunity to try. So if you're looking at that sort of thing, you can even use that as your skill. So with what I did for my gold, we did this spoof guide, and to make it easier for myself to edit, I did do a PowerPoint, and I just sort of put the different parts into smaller videos, as it made it easier for me to edit them, and then we just sort of talked about what we did and then led into the videos.
Yeah, but you didn't just do that on the first I remember your project, because on the first page you had a little badge from Microsoft saying that you're a PowerPoint master or something along those lines.
Yeah. Well, it was just an introduction to what the team brought to the expedition. So we gave an introduction, and a few months before I gained a qualification in Microsoft PowerPoint via school. So that was one of my ways of like showing off a little bit, but also showing what sort of thing I contributed to the team during the expedition.
Andrew, why is that not even surprising? How did you manage that? There's no snow.
Oh dear, has he hurt himself again?
Yeah, we got a broken arm again.
You are like, you're even in lockdown.
I was going to say there's no snow or ice. How did you do it?
Oh dear.
He's kidding. He says. Oh, blimey.
Okay.
That was getting me. I was there going, be sure we want to let him out on an expedition.
Yeah, I know. Someone let him out on an expedition, but he's going to have to look like the Michelin Man.
Our plan, by the way, is we are going to do an expedition with the bronzes this year. Well, hopefully this year, but we'll get you guys out to do an expedition, if not 2 expeditions. We'll have to see how we can work it. It might mean a bit of fiddling, but what you guys do need is an aim, so think about that as a team. I know there's 3 teams of bronzes this year. I think there's 1 for silver.
I want to say 1.
Yeah, I think so. Have a think about it. You've got time to think about it. What I'm trying to think of the ones that have stood out to me over the many years. I think it's I do remember one PowerPoint, and they did it on rubbish.
Yeah.
And it might have even been your year, and you were bronze, Tom. I can't remember. It was about that time. And they did it all about the countrysides, took photographs, and they made it quite an interesting PowerPoint. Apart from there was just one slide. Now, anyone who has worked with me for a long time knows, especially when I'm out and I'm doing long days, etc., I have a monster. And being how old I was at the time, I was drinking quite a few of these monsters. So they took a photograph of the monster and then announced to all the parents that can in the grass was mine.
Yeah.
And I was stood at the front. and it was just like, oh no. So they did get me quite well on that. It was insane, man.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm just reading what Andrew's got. He's got himself a new rucksack. Oh, nice. What rucksack did you get, Andrew? Is it Vango, Osprey? What type? What brand? We definitely are doing the expeditions, man. There's no way I'm not letting you guys go on an expedition. That's what the point of what we do at the centre is. We want to get you out there. It's worth it. You might
even get the experience that I got on my bronze, where because you've had to push it back, you might even get some snow. Very lucky.
Oh, Low Alpine, nice. It's decent brand. Yeah. Low Alpine. I'm trying to think who sell Low Alpine. But yeah, make sure you get it set up though, Andrew, to suit you and your back and how you like to wear it. Very nice. 65.75. Not decent bag, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the other things is now's probably, especially that all the shops are like closed and stuff, guys. Just as a side note, walking boots, best time to get them. Doesn't have to be anything too expensive, but you need something to support your ankles. Got it in Scotland. Wow, Andrew's been travelling.
Yeah,
I'm jealous, man. Scotland. Yeah. I've only travelled around Berkshire, around this lockdown. Yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to just look at our notes, man. Vlogging's quite an easy one. It's quite nice. The only thing I would say about vlogging is batteries. I don't know about you. Did you ever have an issue with your cameras?
Well, I used my phone. We got permission to use a phone for the cinematography. So I took one of the massive 20,000 milliamp hour battery packs and just topped up my phone every day when it needed it. So you don't have to get a big fancy camera. You can get permission to use your phone. Just whilst you're out on expedition, don't use your phone for like other stuff, as it can be against the 20 conditions. I have known a group to be referred because they were on their phones, and that made it very obvious to the assessor. So basically, don't go on your phones, but just don't. If you do choose to go on your phone, don't make it obvious to the assessor.
One of the things, it will be confirmed when we get back, is that condition about phone. So one of the 20 conditions is you have to adhere to the centre's policy for mobile phones. We'll make that clear if that is you can take mobile phones. Some centres say yes, some centres say no, but it will be made clear to you before you go, and there are reasons to it. It's not just we're being mean. Apart from part of it is we spend a lot of time on devices and technology, so it's good to have a break, and it's one of the really good things we do have when people do come off it for a little while. Hi Kevin, good that you could join us, man. It's like leaders and participants all in here. We're going to have the whole of Adventure Dolphin joining us soon. Be on the website and advertised everywhere. I'm only kidding. So that's one of those things. Has anyone got any questions about the project work and aims? It's pretty simple. What I would say is when you think of a project work, send it through to us so we can have a look, or any ideas, just email us at dofecoordinator@adventuredolphin.co.uk. We can have a look and we can run through that for you. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, as well as that, with projects, if you are looking at doing something that's more video focused, it might be a good time to have a look at what editing software you can use and getting slightly familiar with it. As I tried to learn an editing software as I was trying to edit my expedition footage. So it's always better to know what you can do with the software before you go out, because then you can know your limits and know what you can do and you can't do whilst out on the expedition.
Did you jump into Premiere Pro by any chance?
Yeah, I did. It was quite
It is a little bit.
interesting.
It is very interesting.
It's not quite the Apple version, which I can't think of the name at the moment.
iMovie probably.
Yeah, iMovie's very simple, but of course I'm a Luddite and don't like Apple, so it's one of those things. I quite like the iMovie software, but don't really like Apple products, so I was a bit stuffed.
Oh, Final Cut Pro. Someone's a Final Cut Pro user. Nice. I must admit, I am an Adobe man myself. As you can see, guys, to the side of Tom's face, so he can't see it. He's not actually got the preview been sent to him. Is the chat? So we are reading the comments as they go. So it is good to see all of you guys. Oh, DaVinci. Oh, we got also DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, that's another one. What one do you use then, Andrew? Oh, you're just gonna name me every editing software under the sun. Don't say Photoshop. But yeah, oh, none. Sweet. He's a Windows movie maker.
I've tried that before now. It wasn't.
I love Windows Movie. It's so simple. Windows Movie Maker. Compared to Premiere Pro, where you got all the bells and whistles, it was just boom. Yeah. So yeah, I did. There's quite a lot of vlogging going on. I don't know if any of you leaders have got any project ideas or aims that you could suggest these kids. There's another bit of information, news, surprise. As of 7:30 today on the Google Classroom, there will be a link going live, and that will link you to the DofE website with some suggestions of what you can use for aims. And so have a look at that. It is a decent little read, and let us know. As I say, we're always about, well, every Monday pretty much 7 to 7:30.
Yep.
I think that's pretty much all we've got time for. I think we've covered most of that today with project work.
Yeah.
What are we doing next time, Tom? Do you know?
At the moment, we're pretty clear on what we're doing. We haven't got anything that we've got specifically planned. So if any of you guys that are in want to suggest anything in the chat, what you feel might be useful for you, then feel free to suggest it, as that would help us. Other than that, we might look at doing some expedition-based skills. So, for example, you could do bag packing, how to pitch tent, all of that sort of stuff. So anything like that. If you have any questions that you want us to cover about the DofE, that could be anything, or even just about outdoor activities, as a lot of leaders have got experience in them. Just drop a comment, drop us an email, and we'll cover them in this chat, and if not, we'll try and rope another leader in who can answer your question.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. With the likes of the bag packing and stuff, one of the things that it is down on our to-do list, so we will be covering that on one of these sessions. However, what we're hoping for is that myself, Tom, and maybe another member of the leading team can get back on. As soon as we can get back onto the centre, we'll actually use the rucksacks that are there and show you. Mm-hmm. So we'll do some sessions whilst as the others are working on, and we're looking at how to reopen the centre at that time. We can still be doing some of the live shows. We'll just be doing them there, social distancing style, or wearing our special masks and shields and pointy sticks and whatever else we've got to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be that soon. So we come to our last section, and every week we do this. Tom, you got an outdoorsy bite, or we got to think of one quickly?
One thing that I have seen recently going about on social media is if that you're stuck for a idea to do for your physical, you could always take up jousting, as due to the nature of it, you never get it within 2 meters of the other person.
I like your thinking on that. I don't know too many jousting clubs that are open currently, but I like that. Yeah. And also you have to wear the face mask, don't you? So there's no way. Yeah. It's just you got the distance, and I like. Yeah. I've never done jousting. Are you a jouster?
I've had a bit of a go. yeah, never really got into it. It can feel a bit silly. Just trying to tap the other person with a flexible sword.
Can you Andrew's just said about Wii Fit. Can you joust on Wii Fit? Is that a possibility? I know you can play tennis on Wii Fit.
Is jousting?
That's Wii
I
Sports.
don't think
Sorry.
jousting was an option.
I don't know. Anything's
Or was that
possible.
Wii Resort?
There's
Did
got
you
to be.
do it on Wii Resort?
There's got to be a Wii game there you can go jousting. That would be quite awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to playing golf, even if it is on the Wii. Oh no, it's not. It's not on Wii Sports. Not sports. Wii Fit. However, I know yoga is. You can always do yoga.
Yeah, or if you've got an Xbox with a Kinect or that sort of thing, you can always do a bit of Just Dance, and it records you as you go along, so you can put the silly videos of you going like onto the DofE and shows what you've been doing.
Yeah, no, Andrew, you are right, man. Just quickly reading. Wii Fit is currently under the sports variations allowed because, of course, it gets you up and going and gets you nice and physical. I used to absolutely bomb the. It was the ski jump, and it's the only time you ever see me doing a ski jump is on Wii Fit. I'm no way doing ski jump in real life. I can't do it. Oh,
why
gosh.
not? I'd give it a go.
You're a brave.
You've only got 2 ankles to break, so it's fine.
One head, one neck. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I do like your little bite today, Tom, with jousting. It makes my bite seem stupid. Mine was more going for skill, and seeing that we are still under lockdown, although it is easing up, and some of us can go back to schools soon. Don't know if that's nice or not. Make your own mind up on that. We all, most of us now have one of these things. Minion, you see. There's one of the things I noticed, and I've got on my phone actually, is a app, and it is called Knots 3D. Last time I checked, it was free. However, it is an amazing little app. What it does, it goes through a animation, and it shows you all the different knots you can do and learn. It's forever being updated, and so you can learn all different hitches. I learned a fireman's coil the other day. Do you know what a fireman's coil is useful for?
I do not.
It's basically you can, as you pull it, it will come undone and come off the coil.
Okay.
So it basically is a quick way of release. On a quick release.
Okay.
So it's loads of different things for that. That would count as a skill. Option is learning knots, have a bit of rope. That's all you need, and you can do that around your house. Or there's loads of Jamie Oliver cooking sessions and stuff like that. And that's also a different option.
Yeah. Good thing about cooking is you have the fun of making it, if you feel that way, and then you have the fun of eating it.
Yeah, ashamedly, we would normally say, bring in your cakes, but at the moment, make your cakes and eat them yourself, guys. Enjoy it. You've got to make the most out of it. So that's all we've got time for this week. As we say, keep in contact with us, guys. We're available on dofecoordinator.co.uk. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and the Facebook. How official did I sound there? It'd be good also if you've got any photographs of you doing any of your activities and you want to share them with us, tag us on them on the Instagram. I believe it's Adventure_Dolphin. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, if you just start typing Adventure Dolphin, it comes up.
There will be a picture somewhere of one of us. I think it might be even about. It was your first aid sessions of Cliff. So Cliff, it's us because Cliff will be in it. It would be great to see what you guys are up to. We are checking also DofE, but I think that's it. Is there anything you want to say, Tom, before you say goodbye, man?
No, just have a good week, guys. Stay safe. Just remember you can get outside, and you are now allowed to meet one other person, just as long as you stay 2 meters apart. So take the opportunity to see someone, say hi, check up on your friends. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, you're all right. I've got a brother who turns 18 this week.
Oh, good man, mate.
Lockdown 18. Oh,
18's overrated.
Yeah, what I give to go back to being 18, hey? But yeah, from all of us at the Adventure Dolphin Team, all we want to say to you guys is thank you for joining us this week. We're not in next week because it is bank holiday. However, we'll be back the week after. The link will be in the chat, the classroom, as not always. We're looking forward to see all of you. Thank you so much for taking part in the chat, the guys that have. Stay safe, have fun. We'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.